All right, guys, what's up? My name is J.R. Longi. This is the Golf Podcast, the game one loves forever. I just thought that was kind of a cool little saying because I love the game. I will love it forever, and I hope I can play till 80. Today, I am here with one of my good buddies, Rich Gibbons. Hey, Rich, I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much. The inaugural episode 1, the Golf Podcast.
Let's
How
go.
you doing? Let's go.
Let's go.
Now, if you can just kind of give everybody just kind of a taste of who you are and introduce yourself and you know, kind of what golf means to you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Rich Gibbons. I am an Army veteran. Served 2 tours overseas, one Iraq, one Afghanistan. I found this amazing game just a little over 2 years ago. I played a couple times before that, but JR and our good friends got me really into this game. I'm almost 2 years in now. August will be 2 years. He's right. This is a game one loves forever. And when you find it and you have good people around you, this game can change your life.
Oh, yeah.
And not just the game, but the people you play it with. And yeah, I'm super pumped. Thank you for having me on, dude.
Yeah,
Inaugural episode. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. I remember the first time I talked to Rich about golf, and I came up to him and said, "Hey, man, you golf?" He's like, Nah, I don't do that." Like, I think he was more of just kind of, you're probably just weary of me as opposed to the golf itself, right? I mean, do you remember that interaction?
I really wasn't into it. I was doing jiu-jitsu at the time. I still love jiu-jitsu. I just don't compete or train anymore. Just with what I do, that's something that's going to come back.
Golf you can do anytime. Well, as long as the sun's out.
Yeah,
you can do it anytime.
Or even the rain, dude. I don't care now.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're out there.
Yeah.
If I call Rich, he's always down.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, "Nah, I don't play in the rain," but Rich and I, we will play no matter what.
I got that itch, man.
I respect that.
Yeah. So I this game came to me later on in life, and I want to say thank you so much for helping be part of that introduction and helping me through learning how to swing and what it really means to play for the longest time there, up till 3-4 months ago. I was beating myself up like I'm a pro, like I'm Rory out there that just walked off. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not that good, and it's water off a duck's back. And when I started thinking like that and like embrace the suck, embrace the pain, like I'm one of those competitors in everything I do, like right away I'm good at. And this sport, the reason why it's a game one loves forever is because you're never going to get good. You love it forever because you'll never be the greatest.
Yep.
Right?
A little foreshadowing. When I read my first scorecard, yes, you think you're good, and then you're not. The game will humble you real quick.
Yeah, and I think that's such a testament for the sport itself, and it's incredible. You're out there. You're in the wilderness. And, you know, I like to hunt and fish too and all that. And hike and camp, all those great things. On a Friday, I can drive 15, 20 minutes, go play 18, spend it out there in the green grass. You got the trees. Shoot, man, you like the beach. You got that too, you know?
So. Yeah. I would ask you, you know, what, if you can remember, what is like one of the greatest experiences you've had with golf?
Oh, too many to count, man.
Oh, that's good.
Too many to count. And I've only really been playing this sport a couple years. I did play back in 2016 with one of my friends, Drew Scalaro, and a couple other buddies. And I had no idea what I was doing, no idea about the game. We just went and played out in Roseville. And I hit a chip shot in from about 35 feet on the 18th hole. I was nowhere near as good as anybody else, but I hit it, and I didn't know you don't yell and scream unless you get a hole in one. But I hit this shot. I was like, dude, I freaking love this sport.
Yeah, anytime you chip in or anything off the green.
Dude, I was on the back side of the green on the 18. I think it was Diamond Oaks.
Yeah.
And chipped that in, foreshadowing again, come back into my world today. I don't have a hole in one yet, but I was at the 15th hole on Paradise Valley out in Vacaville with a buddy, and I hit it within 18 inches. And
That's
that
your
was
closest
cool.
one so far?
That's the closest one.
And I think I remember asking you, birdied that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So
those are the worst when you get that close and then you
don't
par
birdie.
it. Yeah, you par it.
Luckily, on my birthday, not last year, the year before when I really started playing, we were at Wild Horse in Davis. And I think Chad's got a video on the 13th hole or whatever it was.
Your first birdie.
Right, I was about 12 feet out.
Yep.
About to birdie this hole. Never birdied a hole in my life.
Yeah.
Birdied it. I threw my putter up. It was a Walmart putter, dude. It was like a brick. Threw it up. I was like, yeah, let's go. Right?
There's
like
nothing.
Super
Yeah.
pumped.
There's nothing like that feeling of that first birdie.
Yeah. That was incredible. But honestly, every time I golf is the best time.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I mean,
time.
it's just super cool being out with like, even if it's just, let's say me and you, we go out as a twosome, but when you have those four guys and girls, if, they come out, but just the four people, you just have a great time. I feel like that nothing can bother you. I mean, other than your game itself, but nothing outside can affect your mood because you're golfing. You've been waiting the whole week probably for this moment. We played last week, and the whole week we played on Friday. As the whole week, I'm just like, oh, one day closer. It's Tuesday. Oh, one day closer. And I think you just having a tee time ready or in the future just makes my mood 100% better.
I can't
through
wait.
The week.
I can't wait, dude.
You say you're playing tomorrow?
Yeah.
And you're already stoked for it, right?
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow with our boy John, and then also on Friday for another buddy's birthday, a little late birthday present. So I'll play Teal Bend tomorrow, and then Friday play out at Dark Horse.
Yeah.
So I didn't golf last week. I had other plans.
Yeah.
And so that was good. But if I'm not playing every Friday, I'm finding another time to play.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like, saying how you can remember all your good times and great experiences and times with your friends. And I mean, that's why I kind of I knew golf was always like an important part of my life, and I loved the sport, and I knew I was going to play it forever as soon as I started. I started in high school, and my basketball coach was the golf coach, and he got me out there and started playing, and I just knew. I didn't know, but I knew it was going to help me in some way, whether it's business, whether it's friends, whether it was networking or, and I think that's really come to fruition. I mean, you can probably attest to that. I mean, I think that's how we've become closer friends, right? It
is a great way to get introduced to new people, reintroduced to old people.
Yep.
Me and my lady golf.
Yeah.
She doesn't golf
That's
like
awesome.
I do.
Yeah.
She's not as competitive as I am or anything like that.
She'll hit a few and then read a book and then
she'll play till she can't, like till she doesn't want to, or she'll get cold or whatever. And but it's really good. Here's the way to think about it too. Like you get in these long-term relationships and like, hey, this is my forever person and all that stuff. You could spend 5 hours at a nightclub doing whatever you're doing. If you're out on the golf course with the homies, man, they're not asking questions.
Yeah.
They're not asking questions. They want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you go out there and we have a very great relationship. And now that, I don't do all that party and stuff or anything like that. If anything, I'm going to go party on a Friday morning and hit 18.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Different type of party.
Yeah, it's a different type of party. I get back. I'm still good to go.
And I always say golf and like a vacation in Mexico are the only two times where a beer at like 8:30 in the morning is acceptable.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
No matter what time you tee off, no one questions a crack of the beer.
Right.
They're like, oh, nice, man.
Oh, nailed it. Yeah, if I'm teeing off at that time, I like to wait till the 9.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I like
at least
to
the
wait
back.
till the 9. till the back 9. But That always doesn't ring true, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's just such a wonderful sport. You get with good people and all this stuff. And I hear this a lot of times, like, and I look back on how I was reacting for a little bit, like getting really frustrated. Dude, I'm not Bryson DeChambeau who just won. I'm not Brooks Koepka. I'm not Tiger. So as soon as I put that away, that other competitive side of me, I was talking to other friends and other acquaintances that golf and everything like that. And they're like, yeah, man, we had to tell our friend, hey, dude, you got to calm down a little bit. Like, just go have fun.
Were you ever that guy?
No, not like to the extent that maybe, dude, I wasn't on the outside looking in.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But I'm all getting frustrated or whatever. Like,
well, you never broken a club, right?
No. I've thrown
I've never.
I've thrown one or two. Just, but you pull that back, you get out of your own head, your score goes down.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you know what I mean? Your score goes down.
Just calm down.
And you have a better time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's cool. I did just get signed up for PGA Hope today. PGA Hope, it's for veterans.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so Hagen Oaks puts it on over here, and a couple of my clients have talked about it. They're like, oh, man, you're a veteran, you got to get in, and all this stuff. And they hold it back a little bit. They only do it a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So actually, late September, I go in for PGA Hope. So that'll be really cool.
So what does that kind of entail?
So from my understanding of it, I haven't been able to walk through that just yet, but they give you some lessons, and you also get hooked up with other veterans to golf with, and they pair you guys up and say, hey, where's your competition level? What's your score level, right? Handicap and all that. But you get to golf with other veterans. So if you're a veteran out there, go ahead and Google PGA Hope in your local area and find out when you can sign on. They only do it a couple times a year in different locations. Here in Northern California, they just opened it up. They just opened it up for the late third quarter, early fourth quarter here in 2024.
Nice.
So,
yeah. That'll be exciting. That's speaking of lessons. I've never had a lesson before, and I'm debating it only because I haven't been as consistent as I used to be. But maybe it's just I just need to play more, you know.
Just play more.
Yeah. Just don't waste on lessons. I also know that everyone who's taken lessons, their game goes to shit right after. That was kind of my experience too. Because I feel like pros, or when you go in, it's almost like they try to change your swing as opposed to work with it. Or if I went to go get lessons, I think I would do it more for around the green. Like I want to learn 100 yards in, because that's where all my shots, I lose my shots. You know, I can bomb it 280, 285, but once I get there with the wedge in my hand, like they say, it's like shank, right, chunk, like, right. So that's where I'd want a pro to help me. I don't need to help my swing.
For me, I had no bad habits. I had no ego going in with my golf swing. I look at you, I look at John, I look at other of our good friends that shooting either mid 70s, high 70s, low 80s. And I'll ask you guys for tips or advice out there. Like, hey, cool, I'm good. I'm open to hearing that right now. Tell me what's going on with my driver right now. If you are new to the sport, if you're new to the game, one loves forever, then I highly advise going and getting lessons. I had 6 30-minute lessons from Will Harvey over here at Hagen Oaks. He's he's freaking really awesome. If you're looking to develop good habits, I highly recommend it. Someone in your stature or around you, like you said, 100 in. Like that's where the game's really at. The game is really at, because we can hit a driver off onto another fairway. You grab your 6-iron, you put it over the trees, come back, cool. All right, you're inside 150, put it on the green. Right? But if you've already had all this developmental stage where you understand the game and you understand your swing and how you make contact with the ball, then cool. That 100-yard in, 110 yards in, all right, cool. Work on that. If you're brand new to the game, even inside 3 or 4 years before you really start creating bad habits.
Yeah.
I strongly advise for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm still, if I was to go back and learn the game again, or if I told someone like you who started 2 years ago, or really took it serious 2 years, I would say like start wedges, 100 yards in. Don't even look at the driver. Yes, it's going to be frustrating because you can't hit it, but I feel like the driver, you can eventually learn. But the wedge game, the short game, the bunker game, sand.
You bring it in tight.
Yeah.
Keep that elbow down. Come in and swing through the ball.
I can say that all day, but I can still chunk it. You know what I mean? So, I would just say, 100 yards, 150 yards in, 100 yards in, work backwards, work green to tee.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the foundation of the game, right? Because
they do say when you start playing, get your ego out of it. And I haven't learned this part of it. Whereas they say, hey, start at the reds. Like it don't matter if you're a 35-year-old dude. Start at the reds till you break 100. They go back to whites, break 90, then go back to blues or the tips.
Yeah.
Right.
I still want to do that. I've still to this day, I've always said, I want to play the reds to see how well I could score. I just can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's ego or if it's
us guys,
or
dude.
if it's like someone's gonna see me and they're like, what's he doing over at the red, or the forward tees, and like, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely, like with our group, or if we go out, I do want to like go for somewhere like, okay, let's all play the reds and see what we can do. You know what I mean? And sometimes I even look and I'm like, well, the reds aren't that much closer, but kind of talk myself out of it. But
when everybody's lining up at the whites or the tips, like, where are you going to play?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go do this.
Or even, you kind of get roped in, like we played on Friday. I probably would have played the whites, to be honest. And I think everybody else in our group and in other groups played whites. But because I was playing with one of John's friends and he's a +2 handicap, and he's like, oh, blues. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. Like, I can play there, but it definitely was a little more difficult. Your par threes or 7 irons, 6 irons in. You're not hitting wedges. You definitely have to hit a 285 drive for to have a wedge in or something. But
a couple weeks ago, I was playing at William Lampard, and this is before they moved the whites back. I played the whites. I saved my score. All right, cool. I hit a 43. No warm-up, which was really good for me.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I go back and play, and they had moved the whites back because we're in the summer months. And so they moved them all the way back to where it's playing the tips, playing the blues or the blacks, whatever course you're at. You're playing the tips.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks apart, I played better, and I shot a 49.
From further?
From further.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I played the whites, and they were up, where they're normally at, and shot the 43. 2 weeks later, I go back with Brian, and they had moved them back, and so you're playing from the tips, and I shot a 49. That's 6 strokes on 9 holes, right? Like, still a good score for me, but I just shot a 43 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
What?
I do find that because, and a humble brag here, but I can drive the ball pretty far.
Yeah.
I mean, you can attest to that. And sometimes I feel like that gets me in trouble. So I would prefer to play the tips or further back, but then if I don't hit that drive, or if I don't hit perfectly, then I'm still hitting a 7 iron, or I'm out in the trees, and then I'm 200 yards out.
Yeah, you're going from your irons to the wood or a hybrid or something like that, and that's a feat in itself, right? So you're going from 170 out to now you're hitting 190.
Yeah. So, and also like at my home course, which is Empire Ranch, and there's, except for the third hole, I think the first, 6 holes, you probably don't even need driver. And that's frustrating for me. Even from the tips, it's still questionable to hit driver for me. So sometimes I feel like hitting long is actually a disservice, at least at local. Like, obviously you're a pro, you need to hit 325 yards.
Right.
Because they're so far back. But for us, I almost think like if you can hit 265 I think you're golden, maybe 275. And on most courses, you're probably hitting, 8-iron, 9-iron in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I guess I'm just, and for everyone out there, I'm a 10 handicap, which, I feel like isn't that great. And I can shoot.
But you're sitting
in the
next
90s,
to me,
yeah.
So,
or when I tell Rich, put away your driver.
dude, I did that too.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, man. If you got you get your favorite club and you rock it. That's my 6.
Yeah.
My 6 is my diamond. Like if I'm 165 to 180 out, I'm hitting that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it where I need to. 8 times out of 12. You know what I mean? 75% of the time. That's great.
Yeah. For me, that's kind of like, that's my 3-wood. And I know if I'm not hitting my driver well, I should go to my 3-wood. But again, there's something ego. I don't know. It's just like, no, I gotta figure it out.
I remember last summer we were playing and one of our buddies put their driver away. He said, I can't hit this today. It's just not working. We were on the 4th or 5th hole. And he just straight up, I'm not hitting that thing, right? I'm playing something else. Yeah. And I was like, man, I would never. And then just 3 months ago, my driver was everywhere but a fairway.
Yep.
Everywhere but a fairway. I put that away, was teeing off with my 3-wood and just piping it. I was like, I'd rather hit it straight.
Yep. And shorter.
I'll play that all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the fairway is where you want to be. And speaking of fairway, I always like how par 3s, like, you know how you say, oh man, if I was just in the fairway, had a great shot. I mean, that's what a par 3 is essentially. And yet it's like a mind meld that you have that perfect shot. You can even tee it up if you want. And and for some reason, it's just not as simple as if you were in the fairway. You hit a great tee shot and now you're like, oh man, I'm in the fairway. If it's dialed, but on a par 3, I don't know. It's like, it's a different, for some reason, for me at least, it's a different mental game for some reason.
I feel like I'm talking to the world right here.
Yeah.
If you're new to golf, and you think par 3s are your saving grace, keep the whips away, dude. Right? Like I had them bad. I had the whips. I couldn't freaking hit a green to save my life for 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. I couldn't. We play a par 5. I'm gonna par that hole. I'm gonna bogey that hole, which is good for me. Right? I'm not gonna have a blow up hole there. But my par 3s were blowing up. Right? They happen. It's true. It's real. Just take the load off. Take the pressure off.
Yeah.
Just strike the ball well. Yeah. Don't think about putting it in the hole. We all do.
Yeah.
We all do. Don't think about it. Just remember the mechanics of the game. Right? Remember the mechanics of the game.
What holes, like what par holes are worse for you? So like for instance, for me, par 5s are my nemesis for some reason.
Oh no.
I can score well, but I've gone around like before where it's like par 5, 7, like the rest are pars, and then par 5 comes, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a birdie here, 7. Next par 5, 7. It's like I live on par 5s. I live in the land of 7, and I even try to mentally say, okay, because when I first would go to the tee, I'm like, okay, I'm getting here in 2 because I can, but I have to hit 2 perfect shots. And now I'm like, it's a 3-shot hole until it's not. Meaning, no matter what, I'm going to get there in 3 shots. But if I pipe it, 305, and now I have a 205 in, now it's a 2-shot hole. But if I'm already thinking of the 2-shot hole, then I fuck it up. I mess it up. Sorry. And so for some reason, my mental block are the par 5s. Par 3s, I can usually, do pretty well.
I'm in a transitionary period where my par 3s are coming around.
Yeah.
I'm hitting them pretty well. Still for me, the par 3s, man, like I'll par 1 around and birdie a couple, but I'll have a 5 or a 6 on a par 3 still lately. Par threes for me are still kind of my nemesis. I feel like I can hit every shot on par fours and fives. I'm not thinking about much, only getting there. Now, if it's a long par five, and I'll be honest right now, my 3-wood's in the bag. I'm not touching that. So
Really?
I'll hit my 4 hybrid and I'll hit
Really?
it
Okay.
190 or so.
Yeah.
And I feel better with my hybrid than I do with my 3-wood today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a par five.
It's funny how we, like, all of a sudden, it'll be your favorite club. I mean, I guess that's golf, but it'll be your favorite club. And then next week, you're like, oh, put that away. Like, I don't even, it's like you never picked up a club in your life.
Dude, just a few weeks ago, my trusty 6.
Yeah.
This is my 6-shooter. Like,
Yeah.
this is my dog, right? Like we go everywhere
you don't have to
together.
think. You don't have to think when you swing, right?
Just a couple weeks ago, well, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
I couldn't hit it. So I just clubbed down or clubbed up and got clubbed down, got a 7. And I was like, well, I can hit this today. You know, that was for a couple weeks. My 6 is back, but
Yeah.
that's
good.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my baby. You know, we were just a little tiff, you know.
Yeah.
But right now I
Left you for a little bit. But.
Yeah. She came back. But right now I won't touch my 3-wood. Right. But my 4 hybrid, which was harder than heck to hit.
What's your miss right now on the 3-wood?
That's a great question. Come watch me swing. I'll tell you. I'll show you. I'll show you. I think I'm putting too much pressure on it because, you know, another thing, like if you're new to golf or just a couple years in, we have a saying, right? Put both cheeks in it, right? Like drive this thing. Yeah, I'd rather hit it straight than far, you know? Yeah. And I know I can hit my hybrids. I know I can hit my 6. So like I can really mess around, you know? But I think I just put too much emphasis on that, which was funny because when I didn't have my driver, my 3-wood was my right hand. Like, all right, cool, I can hit you off the tee.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Now I got my driver back and my 3-wood's off.
Yeah.
You know, I'm chunking it a lot. So, and I fixed my stance. I'm like, worked on my stance as you've seen. But I don't know if it might be ball placement.
Yeah.
It might be ball placement. Because I know right where to line up on my hybrids. I know right where to line up on my driver. I know, you know, between 6 and my, you know, 60 degree, I know where I want my feet.
Yeah.
But I think that might be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed, not to get like too in the weeds with it, but I've always noticed with 3-wood, you kind of want more weight on the front. And then you can kind of place it wherever you want to place the ball in your stance, kind of more forward, but kind of middle to forward wherever you feel comfortable. And then weight, you almost hitting it like an iron.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing too with golf is like each club has a different swing path or different, like right driver now, you don't swing up. And if you swing down, then it's a for sure slice. And with the irons, it's more up and down. The wedges, you want to use the bounce. It's like it's.
That's why lessons for someone just newer
true.
before you
I guess
create
so.
the bad patterns, the bad habits. That's why I think lessons are really important. Like, go figure out how to swing the club first. I'm 2 years in. I just learned 3 months ago, 4 months ago, how to really drop the elbow and come in underneath, like really swing with it. And like go get lessons if you're young to the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you playing this week?
So, well, I don't have anything yet, but if all things play out, I'm going to try to get a twilight round over in Empire.
Okay.
So just something after work. Just to, like you said, now's the time. It's golf season. It's summertime. It's, prime where you can start at 5 and maybe even get 18 in, here in Northern California.
Depends on who you're with. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And who's in front of you really.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the guys we play with aren't that slow. I don't think, I mean,
we don't have any Cantleys with us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably more of searching for balls rather than about to hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Our guys are teeing up or they're, all right, cool. This is where I'm at. Yeah. Zone it in. All right, sick. I'm 179 out. I'm going to hit this. Let's go.
Do you use anything like, do you have a preference for yardage? As far as, do you use your phone? Do you use a watch?
So,
do you prefer scope?
So I do have my Apple Watch linked to G.O.L.F on my phone. I've noticed my watch doesn't fully dial it in, so I'll look at my phone and just see. But I like to shoot it. I like to shoot and see exactly how far that is. All right, cool. This is where I need to hit. Like, I'm not too concerned with the green just yet. Hey, where do I have to hit it on the green? I don't play with a caddy, right?
Yeah,
so nobody's telling me, oh, this is how it's playing here. This is.
Well, I try to be your caddy sometimes, but I don't know if it's unsolicited or not. But
I love unsolicited advice out there, at least from people that play way better than me. Yeah. I'm still coming for you, Bobby.
Always, yeah. Yeah. I always love the guy who, is 20 strokes worse than me and giving me advice, or, hey, your head was up on that one. I'm like, I don't think that was the problem. My head hasn't been up in years.
Yeah.
I just bladed the crap out of that. So
yeah, I hit it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. No, I'm all for advice. I think if you're new in the sport too, like, you know my saying, man, stand on the shoulders of giants, right? And if you've got me by 20 strokes, I'm going to pay attention to what you say. You've been playing this a lot longer than me. I'm going to listen. I'm not going to put my ego into it. All right, cool. I'm going to try to do exactly what the people say. This is why I think lessons are great.
Yep.
Like, I was getting lessons. Like I said, Will Harvey, Hagen Oaks, shout out to him, man. He's been awesome. I tell him who's teaching me how to play, who's showing me how to play. I tell him about John playing it.
Yeah, John's he was helping me with my chipping.
Yeah.
Because
he taught me how to hit it out of the sand.
Oh, yeah.
So I turn the blade more, right? Rather than a normal pitching, on my 60 or 56, whatever. If I'm coming out of the sand, I'm hitting my 60. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But he showed me, like, all right, cool. Put the blade down a little bit more, come underneath and lift it, right? And started doing that, man.
And my only advice for sand, because I'm pretty good at the sand, but if you ask me what I was doing, I don't really know. I just can hit it. But all I do know is for sure follow through. So many people hit the sand and it's like dead. And I would always just follow through. Doesn't matter what you hit, what kind of swing you take, just follow through, finish that shot. And that's really what gets it out. So that's my only advice for the sand.
My advice for the sand is just don't hit it in there.
Well, no, sometimes I would rather be in a greenside bunker than on the fringe or in the rough, because again, it's just a mental, and it's all about confidence at that point. But yeah, I would rather, sometimes I aim for the bunker or the sand, because I would rather be in there than try to anything else around the green.
That's a great thing to say right now, because we're talking to a bunch of people that play differently.
Yep.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. I'll find sand. Lately, I've been finding sand, but I'm better at it now. I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
I'll bring out the Texas wedge if I need to.
Looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah,
like, why
exactly.
would you say
but
that?
play the game how you know to play it, how you like to play it, and once you start understanding shots, I'm not even at your level yet on understanding it, but that's why I hang out with you guys. That's not why. That's another reason why that I hang out with you guys. Like, oh, cool. I want to get great at the sport. Let me talk to people that are really good at the sport.
Yeah. It's funny. You said something earlier about how it can like rekindle, or like old friendships can come back from golf. And one of our acquaintances that we both know, Adam, I've known him since kindergarten, but after I think high school, hadn't really seen him. And then just with the golf group and us going out, and, he saw on Instagram that we were golfing, said, hey, man, I'd love to come out. And we just reconnected. And it's really cool that after all those years, because of golf, we've come back into each other's lives, at least in the golf forefront, And so I thought that was a really cool story. And you when you said that, it kind of triggered that. So I think it's, a testament to just how golf, in any aspect of your life, golf can affect it one way or the other, right? Even off the course.
And so being able to play this game for a long time, being able to experience different courses, and you might play the same course and you'll never play it the same twice.
Yeah, we were just talking about this, right? That you were kind of getting bored of your home course.
I love Teal Bend, dude.
And then all of a sudden it's like it clicks and you're like, oh wait, no, I can play this from the reds. I can play it from the tips. I can try to play holes differently. The pin placements are different.
Pin placements, man.
It's like I've played Empire Ranch, I don't know, probably 50 times since I moved out to Folsom, and I still don't know the green. Like I'm like, does it go this way? Does it go? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I should know this by now, and maybe I just need to pay better attention. But I will hit into a green, and I'm like, does it go right or left? You know, it's like it's funny, and so that's why I like golf too. Is you can play the same course, different every day.
You'll never hit the same ball twice.
No,
Right? You'll never hit the same ball twice. Once they change the pin, the whole thing's different, right? Like the wind could be different, the temperature could be different. You're playing with a different ball.
oh yeah, I love summer golf because you get an extra 40 yards of roll.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love playing. I played all winter, as you know. Like I played darn near every weekend or every week, and now I'm like I had my clubs dialed in from distances, dude.
Oh yeah,
But I remember last year. So before I got into the summer last year, just when I started really picking it up, was all right. Cool. My 6 is 165. Cool. Lock that in. Start playing in the summer. My favorite shot, not my favorite shot of all time, but one of my best shots of all time. I'm 199 out. I'm playing in Plumas Lake. 199 out on the other fairway. Like I said, my second shot's my recovery shot, you know, over trees, 199 out. And I hit it pin high.
Yeah.
Over. I was just off the green on my second shot on a par 4. Right. I parred that hole. And that was probably my best round, but I had so much more distance in the summer. It wasn't a different ball. I was still playing the Callaways. It's still, you know.
It's just everything's so firm. The air's light or, dry, and it just cuts right through.
It just cuts. You know, I have a rule in the household. If I travel for 3 days or more, my clubs come with me. Right. And my lady knows, she's like, all right, I get you. Like, she ain't got to worry about nothing else. I'm just going to golf.
Yeah.
Right? You can go shop. You can do whatever you want. And I'm not saying that as like a negative to shopping. People like to shop. Who cares?
Hey, we like to golf. And people might think that's crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
Spending 55 plus on a course. Some people are like, you could do other things with that money, but we're out there spending every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
But if I travel anywhere for 3 days or longer, my clubs are coming. I just played in Patty Jewett in Colorado Springs just a couple weeks ago when I was visiting my brother and his family, and took him out golfing too, and had another buddy out there, and elevation changes.
Yeah, and
you're hitting farther, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
The water or the air's different.
Yep.
You're up at 6,000, 8,000 feet. It's different. We played at Edgewood last summer.
Yeah.
I drove a ball over 300.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I think you're at 7,000.
Yeah, the ball flies different, and like you said, the temperature changes, the ambient temperature changes, your swing changes every time you're playing with a different ball.
Yeah.
Right? Like all those things go into effect.
I know. I didn't realize that because they have the celebrity tournament up there at South Lake Tahoe, and those guys are bombing it. But then I realized and I remembered, I mean, I'm sure they bomb it anyway, but they were bombing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, the elevation. I forgot they get an extra 30 yards out of their drives.
You get 30
like
extra
Steph
yards.
Curry
and if
was.
you hit it period,
I mean, Steph Curry is good, but he was freaking bomb. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have another mountain course called Apple Mountain near us, and yeah, same thing. Like you can get another. My farthest drive up there was I had a 375.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bomb, and then I had a 125 pitching wedge in on a par 5. So that can tell you.
Did you bogey the hole?
Yeah, I parred it. Unfortunately, I did. No, I don't remember what I got. I feel like I birdied it, but those mountain courses, the greens are so tiered, and
we just
you can
land
it in the middle of the green and putt and a roll off, and there you go. It's bogey. Yep. Bogey city.
We played at Winchester little over a month ago. Just a total different feel. That's what this sport is, though. It's like if you conceptualize it in your life, there's so much about the sport that you can bring back to in your daily world. Like, cool, you had a bad first down play, right? All right, cool, your second shot, boom. All right, cool, you woke up, stubbed your toe on the bedside table. Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but you did something great later on, you know?
I think that's why, too, with golf, you can tell a lot about a person, or at least you know, you can kind of get a feel for a person on the golf course. Whether they flip out, how they handle the stress, how do they handle themselves, you know, and do they break clubs? Do they just keep it all internal? You know, if they're not playing well, or if they do play well, are they all in your face like, oh, gotcha, you know? So I like that aspect of it, because you can, you know, first time playing with someone, you can learn a lot about it. You know, I can learn more, or we can learn more about someone in a 5-hour round than you can if you went like once a week, just kind of chit chat. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, how are the kids? You know, oh, how's work? You know, because that's really all it gets to, right? When you see them at a meeting, or at, you know, at a function, or just out and about, right? So I like that aspect, that you can really figure someone out, or at least, you know, get a baseline for them.
Yeah, get to understand them a little bit, and watching them grow too. Like, we have friends on all different levels. And we have guys that never lose a ball, and we have guys that throw clubs once in a while, and we have guys that, like you, water off a duck's back. Next shot. You know.
Yeah, and I think I'm very much the same in life. Like, anything that comes bad, or a bad shot, or anything comes, you know, makes me upset or whatever in real life, you know, I just move on, and I know something else will come that's gonna, you know, then I know the next shot's gonna be great.
Yeah.
You know, so
you're just such a positive dude.
It just gives you opportunity to hit that next great shot.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think we talked about it earlier, where I sliced a drive, I'm in the other fairway, it's a par 5, I'm probably 220 out, but I have to go over the trees. I'll just pull out my trusty 3-wood, little light, easy swing, make sure I pop it up, boom, land it on the green, putting for eagle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you would have just seen my slice, you're like, oh, this hole's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I would have had that same mentality just from one swing, I'm like, I'm going home. Like, why? Or I'm gonna bogey this hole, no question, right? So that one I did birdie. So should have eagled it, but you know, hey, at least it was a tap-in birdie.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So that's what I just love about the game. And then that brings you back too. You know.
You can play 18 holes, shoot 100, and that one shot, or that one 30-foot putt you sink, or whatever, you're like, I'm a pro, man. I'm coming back. Yeah. This sport doesn't got the best of me.
Maybe the Corn Ferry Tour is in my future.
Maybe it's in my future. Yeah. Exactly, man. But it is a testament, man. It is a game one can love forever. One does love forever. And you meet some amazing people out there, and you can actually go by yourself, play, get connected with with a threesome that needs a +1 out there, rock out, make some good friends, make some really good relationships, and maybe make more golf buddies, dude. Yeah. Like, come on. What else can you do that? They don't have an app for us guys to go hang out with random dudes. Like, you go on the Tee Off app, or no free sponsors. Yeah. But you go on these apps, or you just book a tee time. You go out there by yourself, and you're like, well, if I get paired up with somebody, cool. But every time I do that, where I'm by myself, or it's me and a buddy, and there's another twosome out there, dude, we take our hats off at the end of the round, and you know, hey, dude.
The cool thing too is, so when I really got back into golf in 2020 during COVID, because the only thing you could do. Right. So I'd have my meetings, and then I'd go play golf, and I was always a single, and it's crazy to think how far our group has come, or just even for me as personal growth, and how many people now are in my network for golf, and just in general, but for golf, because I would just go by myself. And Joanne's like, which is my wife, she's like, you should go by yourself. I'm like, yeah, you just join up with someone. She's like, I could never do that. You know, you just join a group, you play, and And now I have a Rolodex, it's aging me there, but I have it, my phone, I can call any of you guys and possibly have a group of 4 and we can go play any day. Where, before it was like, I maybe had 1 or 2 friends that played. And, at the time I worked at a smaller company, so none of them played. So, and I just didn't meet, a lot of guys like you or just, our age in general.
I told people you were part of my birthday back in May. I told some friends that were coming out, oh yeah, I got 5 groups going. Right? They're like, wait,
oh yeah,
you got 20 people?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man. Like these people, they might be pretending to celebrate me, but they're coming to play the game. You know what I mean?
Like
but
any reason to play golf.
Any reason to play golf. And if you,
it's your birthday, hell yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. I won't miss it. Right. Yeah. A couple friends had to back out last minute. They're like, dude, I really want to be there for your birthday. I'm like, dude, you just missed on a round of golf, dude. That's not on me. That's on you.
Yeah.
But I do say for people that are looking out there for finding new friends that they can connect with, learning a very tough sport or anything like that, man, like this is one amazing sport you'll never be the best at, and you'll always think you're better than you are, which is great for people that are looking to, maybe figure things out about life.
Yeah.
Like go out there, be in the green, be in the grass, be in the trees. Don't hit in the trees, just see them.
Yeah, just pass by.
Yeah, just pass by. Be like, see you guys. Unless you get a member's balance. Yeah, you didn't get me this time. Or if you do hit them, get a member's balance, whatever you got. But it is a true testament for what good you can find in the world.
Yeah. And I almost feel bad too, because I've gotten a lot of people into golf, and including like my brother-in-law, a bunch of friends. I think I feel like I've kind of kickstarted your love of golf, and I feel bad because now we're all addicted. It's like
it's a good addiction.
Yeah, it's I think the wives will say different, but no, it's definitely a good community, good camaraderie. But they say, when you get addicted to golf, it's like I tell my wife, you never have to worry about me like cheating. If you think I'm gone, just look at the golf, like look in the app and I'm probably on the golf course. There's no that. If anything, that's my mistress.
It helped.
Right?
It helped my relationship, dude. Like we're not worried about. I was playing a kickball league on Tuesday nights, staying out till 12 o'clock or closing a bar down and stuff like that. Now she's like, hey, what are you doing? Going golfing?
Yeah, hitting the range.
Now she's like, it's Friday. Yeah, I'm hitting the range, whatever. Yeah. And now she's like, oh, it's Friday. Are you golfing? Yeah, I'll see you this afternoon.
Yeah. I wish I could play all the time. That's why I say we're addicted, because all day I dream about golf, Yeah. I do work. Don't worry, I work. And I focus on work when I'm at work. But when I really, like today, like as soon as I got off of work, I was excited to come here and talk with you and talk golf. And, that's really why I've decided and got inspired by Rich here and to, just start a podcast and just talk golf, whether it's our experiences, whether it's how we played that day, whether it's, Rory missing the 3-foot putt at the US Open, even pros, mess up and
that shot by Bryson. I will say this, how much I've disliked Bryson.
Yeah, your team Koepka there.
Yeah, I'm still Team Koepka.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Bryson's really turned it around for me with how he treats people and all that stuff. I don't know if he was ready for all the fame and all that stuff. And as an adult too, this is a thing from golf too. Like, people grow. You grow in the sport. You grow in your relationships. Bryson's done a really good job, and Rory's still going to choke, man. But
yeah, I know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him. And not because I dislike Bryson or anything, but I just wanted him to win. And
it's been 10 years?
2014. Oh yeah, 2014. Yeah. Yeah, I was just rooting for him. And as soon as he missed that putt, I was like, because I knew, I figured Bryson was going to choke, even though he was off in the weeds or in the trees and couldn't get a full swing on it. But Yeah, I was bummed. But hey, Bryson, like you said, he's a good guy. Or it seems like a good guy.
He's
Seems
come
like
around a lot.
Yeah.
He's come around a lot.
Man of the people now. So
he's doing great for the sport. And that's what I think you're doing great for the sport here with putting out the message of golf and what it really means. Like, you go out and you have fun.
Yeah.
Man, you go out and you have fun. You make great connections. And it's a testament to life. Like, man, you might be off your rocker one shot, and the next shot you can get it back together. Like, I really believe what you're doing right here is really good and beneficial, especially for the younger group coming up or newer group coming into the sport. Like, I'm pretty new too, but like,
yeah, just to show,
job.
There's all types of golfers. There's all types of handicaps. There's all different levels that we are at. I mean, in our group, we have like John and his buddies who are, scratch golfers. And then there's a group of us, I'd say there's a pretty good group of us who are about 8 to 12. And then you got a few, guys who are starting out. And I tell those guys who are just starting out, come out, just play. Even if you hit a bad shot, drop with me, then you hit another shot. Because in the beginning, you're not playing to score. You're just out there to play and get together with the guys. And, and then you become addicted, then you want to start playing well. That's when it becomes a problem, a good problem. But
a good problem.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate that. That's really, whether it's entertainment, whether it's one person gets inspired to play, or it's just to hear myself talk, for an hour a week or so, and talk about my rounds and hang out with my buddies. So
let's go.
Appreciate that. So before we go, I'm gonna read. I did play last Friday, or the Friday before this, and I'm gonna read the inaugural scorecard reading. We're going to try to have at least whoever's played the week before. I'm going to see if they can at least bring their scorecard and we can read it off. Now this, again, I said I'm a 10 handicap, but I did not play like that this time.
Was this at the Ridge?
Yeah. So this was at the Ridge in Auburn, California. It's kind of it's like a mountain.
I haven't played there yet, man.
Oh,
I told you to move it back because I had an engagement.
I can't, we got 24 people going out. I can't, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was, we played from the blues. Like I said, I got coerced into playing from the blues. No, I'm just kidding. And it's a par 71, 63, 66 yards total. I'll keep this one quick because pretty much the front 9, I shot a 47. So I went bogey, double, bogey, double, double, bogey, bogey, par.
That's a rich scorecard if I've ever heard one.
It's and then a bogey, so I ended with a 47, 11 over in the front. And I will say with this round, it wasn't frustrating, which is a weird thing. So it wasn't frustrating because nothing felt right. So I kind of talked to my playing partner Jeff, and I was like, I know I should be like upset, but I don't feel bad, which is kind of weird. And I said, I think it's because I haven't hit any great shots. So it's almost like when I'm not hitting any great shots, then I'm not letting myself down, right? Yeah.
You're not in flow.
Yeah. Okay. So 47, 11 over. So I'm like, all right, I can turn this around. I've turned it around before. Par the first hole, a double sandy par too. Ooh. This was one of my fun holes. Driver into the fairway bunker. Then from that bunker to the greenside bunker.
Yep.
And then like I said, I like the bunker, so I put it close, tap in for par. So that was a double sandy. That was probably one of my better holes. I'm like, okay, like it's coming back. Nope. Double, bogey, double. So after 15 holes, I'm 19 over. And finally, I go par. So
close out the round, baby.
And that's what's like, okay, I fixed it. I'm back in. Let's play again. I got another 18 in me.
Yeah, that's exactly how that feels.
And now I'm like, okay, I could shoot at least mid 80s next time, or if we went back. But yeah, I'm glad I finished strong, but I wasn't really too upset with the round, which is kind of crazy. So I finished with the 19 over, par 71. So we can only go up from here, or I guess down in scores. And
yeah, it would go up for me, bro.
I'm glad that I got a round in for our first episode, and And thanks for joining me, Rich. I appreciate you coming
man.
on for the inaugural The Game One Loves Forever podcast, the golf podcast.
Can't wait to be back, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.